Yeah?
Yeah.
My number 3 is a game called CastleStorm Definitive Edition on the Xbox One. This is a game made by Zen Studios, who are best known for Zen Pinball, Pinball FX, and who I spoke last week about Kickbeat, which was their passable stab at a rhythm action game. That Kickbeat, despite being thoroughly okay, it kind of felt like that team were way out of their depth just in terms of understanding that genre. But this is pretty stunning. It's a kind of tower defense stroke beat 'em up stroke sort of Angry Birds riff that first came out last year, and it bypassed me completely, even though it's available in almost every format under the sun. Did you play this?
No, not at all. No.
Okay. There is a story to it. There are characters and whatnot, but every second they're on screen, there's a big panel on the top left saying skip, and that is very good advice, because the story stuff's not terrible by any means, but it's a million miles beyond pointless, and it's nice to know that its creators realised that. Although at first I was kind of like, why don't they just get the story, delete it altogether, bin it. But I should probably stop berating games when they have superfluous stories like this, because this is a game for children, and it's probably a very effective way of getting them involved. So I guess I should instead be massively thankful that all of it can be skipped if you want, which comes in very handy. At first, the game is very simple. You only need 3 controls. You've got both thumbstick. One of the thumbsticks aims your castle's ballista, and the other one moves the camera around, and then there's a fire button. You use the bumpers to move between, switch between projectiles, and pressing X spawns troops. But the core of it is so simple. It's clearly been primed for younger children. As it goes on, though, you're taught how to draw your bow in the battlefield and how to shield yourself, shield your troops, and you start using spells and stuff. It expands fairly quickly, but it's done at a very, very measured pace. It just feels tuned, really well tuned. It shouldn't intimidate anybody who plays it. There's also a sort of kind of brutal star rating system, but that's never used to block your access to content. It's just there to give you something to improve on if you want to go back to it. And that's absolutely as it should be. You don't have to go and try and get a certain number of stars before you can carry on the game, which is a mistake that way too many games make these days. And it's inviting, it's very clever, it's compelling, and it's structured very gracefully, so nobody would be left out. It's really terrific. Honestly, I don't think this version is out yet. It might be out tomorrow. Right. I played on Xbox One. It's also coming to PS4 and probably all of the other formats again. It's got extra content. The original CastleStorm is obviously still available, but the Definitive Edition has a load of extra content, including there's 20 new campaign modes, and there's some more levels, and there's some additional extra stuff. It's really, really very, very good indeed. If you go this is a game that a lot of people play. It's even on iOS, it's on PC, it's on 360, it's on every console. And yeah, I'm sure it's sold healthily across all of them because it's genuinely pretty terrific. There is one thing though, in a game that's just, it is a game of good judgment and good taste. There's one terrible error, and that's that you have to fight these donkeys. You have these enemies who ride in on donkeys, and when you kill them, the noise that they make is horrifying. These terrible pained yelps in this cartoonish little, family-friendly game about knights, etc., etc. It's horrible. The sound of those donkeys dying is just terrible. But yeah, that weird thing aside, this is really terrific. Unexpectedly, fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
I was going to think about downloading it for my boy until you said that. I don't think he needs to hear donkeys dying until he's a bit older.
It's such a good game, though. I mean, really, it's. I mean, you should probably. I'm sure does the Xbox One even do trials now? I mean, I know the Microsoft ones. You have actually, of course, FIFA, etc., etc. But hopefully you can try this before buying it, because I can't imagine anyone not enjoying it. I'm not a massive tower defense fan. But this is fantastically enjoyable, and it's got an online, it's got leaderboards, it's got the lot. It's really, really impressive.